What's up guys, it's Wasabi and I'm back with a new keyboard. And this one is the Wooting Optimum 60HE Collab Edition. Now what's unique about this keyboard is that this is the first ever collab keyboard from Wooting, which is very interesting to see, and I think that they are doing things the proper way. What I mean by proper is that they first worked on making an awesome product and ecosystem over the past, I don't know, the 60HE has been around since 2021 and only now are they doing a special edition like this. Just so you know, for this collab, the Optimum case on its own is the same price as the Wooting Wooting 60. You also have the option to purchase the Optimum case and keycaps together, or a complete set which includes the case, keycaps, switches, and 60HE module. Basically everything you need to have a working keyboard once you put everything together. In this video, I'm going to give you guys a look at all that's included in the complete set and share some thoughts so that you can decide for yourselves if you feel a complete set is necessary for you, or perhaps you just want to get the case because you already have a 60HE module. And just so you know, if you have the 60HE module, the version before the 60HE Plus came out, it works with all the little goodies you're gonna see in this video. First up, we have the Optimum case. So in the box, you have the case, of course, a sheet of pour-on foam, a pair of 7-degree feet. The 4-degree feet are already installed onto the case, 10 O-rings, 10 silicone socket caps, 8 screws, and this case comes with a friction fit pad. Now about the case, is made of aluminum magnesium alloy, and the accent detail on the back is stainless steel with a mirror polish, chrome plated with a silver transparent PVD layer. The case looks very good in person. I never had a keyboard that looks this minimalistic before, and to be honest, a design like this, especially with the legendless keycaps, does make my desk feel more spacious. The color of the case here is what you would see on the body of a Sony FX30 or FX3 cinema camera, which is something that Optimum likes, and I think this looks really cool. The color looks great, and to me, a collab product having such details that are personal to the person is what makes it interesting. The polished stainless steel accent piece just looks great with the grey case. However, I am very afraid to scratch it. Even though this case looks strong as hell, for minimalistic design, you know, if you do scratch it or happen to damage the case by accident, I would feel very sad and it wouldn't look as clean as it should for the style that it's going for. So if you decide to get one, just remember to think about how you handle your peripherals and what you do on your desk. The quality of this case is very nice, and also when you pick it up, the weight and textures does make it feel like a premium product. It's a hefty little case, and even more so when you have the module, switches, and keycaps fitted in. And the case alone weighs in at 947 grams, which is a very nice weight in my opinion for a case with a thick bezel design like this. Also, you can replace the back feet, so you have the option to switch between 4 and 7-degree typing angles, and I just use mine with the flat 4-degree feet and it's been feeling great. Just for your information to compare, the standard Wooting 60HE has a fixed 6-degree typing angle, while the Optimum case allows for 4 and 7 degrees. Up next, we have the Friction Fit Pad. With this release, they have introduced a Friction Fit Pad that I would think is here to stay as a permanent option that you can get on the website. Wooting has a small list of compatible cases, both official and third-party options. Just note that aside from using the Friction Fit Pad in the Optimum case, there are specific instructions that you gotta follow if you plan to use the Friction Fit Pad for other cases on the list. For more information on that, you can have a look at Wooting's video where Sonder clearly explains why and what you need to do if you plan to use a Friction Fit Pad with compatible cases. Okay, so up next we have the Optimum keycaps. So what you get are cherry profile legendless PBT plastic keycaps, and it's in this delicious shade of grey. I don't know why, but the color and the finish of these keycaps, just the way it looks, makes me want to touch it. It looks very nice. I've never had legendless keycaps before, and I did find myself making more typing mistakes than usual when I first got onto it, especially locking myself out of the computer. And there was one night when my brother was helping me sort out the Wi-Fi because I just moved in, and it was quite a challenge to type in the password. If you are going for a keyboard like this, I guess the aesthetics would be the priority, and for this style, in my opinion, from a design perspective, it does look very neat. The quality of these keycaps, they feel okay. There's really not much to talk about it, but should you get them? Well, I think only if you want the exact look of what you see here and on the Wooting website. I will say though, for gaming, the feel of the original Wooting backlit keycaps are still my favorite because they are very nice and grippy on my fingertips for movement keys. If you are getting the complete set, the price should include the Lekker Linear 60V2 switches by default. I'm fine with these switches and they are good enough to start with, but I think if you want to bring out the best from this case with the Friction Fit Pad, I would recommend recommend trying either the Geon Raw HE switches or Gateron Jade Pros if you prefer clackier sound profile. And last but not least, in the complete set, you will get the 60HE module. Nothing new here if you already own a 60HE, but for those who never had a 60HE before, here's a quick glance at what you would get from the module. You may want to consider topping up with one of their coiled cable sets because the 60HE Plus module comes with the classic black and yellow cable, and I feel like it doesn't quite match well with the style of this collab case and keycaps. Now here's a look at me putting together the complete set for the first time. It's very simple, and while you're watching that, I'm gonna answer some of the questions that came to my mind when I was checking out the collab edition. And the first question is, will the module fall out? And unsurprisingly, that really is the first thing that most people wonder about, and I get it because it's not screwed into the case. And I'm pleased to say that the insides are held securely by friction. And when you want to take it out of the case, it's not difficult at all. All you gotta do is take out the cable, wiggle up the top side, and you can pull the whole thing out. How it feels for typing is really nice, and I am quite certain that anyone who does a lot of day-to-day typing would enjoy this more than the standard 60HE. There isn't much flex, but it feels nicely dampened and comfortable when you bottom out the keys. What I appreciate most about this build is that, for lack of a better description, is that it brings out the full flavor of the switches, or say you get to hear a way cleaner sound profile of any switch that you put in the Optimum build. And I must say that the Geon Raw HE and Gateron Jade Pro switches in particular sound really good here. Typing on this keyboard sounds quieter. I mean, if I were to compare it to my original 60HE, it's a quieter typing experience here, and compared to my 80HE, it's not as quiet, but the characteristics of how the switches sound are a lot cleaner in this build. If you are someone who just enjoys trying different switches and have a preference for clean sound profiles, I think a build like this would be quite brilliant for you. Is the Friction Fit Pad included with the Optimum case? Yes, the Friction Fit Pad comes included with the Optimum case, so whichever of the three options you go for, it will include a Friction Fit Pad. You can also get it as an additional accessory if, say, you just want to get the Friction Fit Pad to try with a compatible case that you already have. And the last question that I thought about is, will this collab be available forever? Well, I did check with a few people from Wooting about the availability of the Optimum collab products, and I'd say that it will be around for quite a long time, which is great, so you guys have some time to think about it and don't feel compelled to get one because of FOMO. But of course, at the end of the day, this is their business, and there is always a possibility that one day they decide to stop and move on to do something else as market trends change over time. Now here's a quick sound test to give you a better idea of how this keyboard sounds with a couple of different switches. I initially planned for more switches to be in this video, but unfortunately, because of the Lunar New Year, some of my orders are still in China. Now, should you buy the complete set? Well, when I really think about it, for any option, whether it's just the case alone, the case and the keycaps, or the complete set, don't get it unless you are very sure that you like the design, because if not, I think you'll be better off going for the standard pre-built 60HE Plus, or just getting the module from the Wooting store and picking a couple of aftermarket accessories to build your own. It is a lot of fun to accessorize your Wooting, which I would say is what many gamers love about the 60HE, and there are plenty of videos to refer to. So don't be afraid that you'll mess something up, because it's pretty straightforward. The Optimum Collab is something for people who appreciates minimalism and a unique typing experience, and of course wanting to own something unique. If you already have a Wooting 60HE, I don't see a reason to get the complete package unless you want to have two fully functional keyboards. The complete package really is for someone getting a Wooting for the first time, and I think it's great that they give you free options instead of forcing you to buy the entire thing. So you can just get the case alone, which again is the same price as the Alume 60. The second option you have is to get the case with the Optimum keycaps, which is really all you need to get the complete collab style if you already have a 60HE, or you can get the complete package that has the case, keycaps, switches, and module. Now, final thoughts, I think this is a lovely example of minimalistic design taken to the extreme with simple angles on the case and legendless keycaps. Personally, this is not something that I'm crazy about. I like some degree of gaming design, creative ideas, and aesthetic to a keyboard because that's one of the things that makes gaming peripherals exciting for me, but I can appreciate the simplicity, the quality, and the direction they took with this release. And it works with the 60HE module, which is a fantastic PCB for Hall effect gaming keyboards and uses the best web-based software in my opinion. I think the advantage that Wooting has when doing collabs over other brands is that they already nailed down the Hall effect features, performance, and the brilliant user-friendly software, which is huge value for a keyboard like this. It's got the same great performance as the standard Wooting 60HE with a different typing experience that is very fitting with the style of this collab edition. And as far as collecting keyboards go, in my opinion, Wooting really is the safest bet because their tech and software is already tested and proven to be fantastic. So yeah, it really boils down to how much you like the design of this keyboard. If the looks appeal to you and it's well within your budget, there's really nothing much else about it that should disappoint. Anyway, thank you for watching. There are lots of exciting things to see from Wooting. I met one of them in Shanghai and I know a little more than I should now, but all I can say is that I'm very excited for everyone. And if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. And if you enjoyed the video